So I want to talk about something briefly. Excuse me if I'm like drinking and chewing because I have to go. But I want to talk about how it was said that brown men have opened the gates for a lot of brown women to be disrespected. But really, brown women it's a phrase somebody likes to say that I know, and they say tough as nails, right? Brown women are tough as nails. And I don't necessarily mean that in a masculine way. See, what is feminine and what is masculine? Because people think feminine is how they see it in this particular patriarchy. Okay, that word feminine, that type of feminine that people like to describe is probably good for this type of patriarchy to get to kind of maneuver your way around. But what does feminine really look like? When did femininity start? Because it started before time. So what does that actually look like? So, but the point is that I was looking at a video by a lady, and she was talking about how this white man, this anchor, embarrassed this lady on camera. And she was talking about, if the sprinkler system come on, I'm out. If you want to look at it, it's this lady called Redirecting. She's like, her channel used to be called Black Education TV. And then it used to be, Redirecting Proverbs 31, something like that. She changed it a couple of times. But she goes by a name of Deborah Yah, okay? If anybody know, a lot of people might be familiar. Just in case you want to go back to her channel and check that out, because I think she just uploaded it maybe today or last night. So anyway, and it's called Black Woman is Shamed by a white man by a white anchor live on camera, something like that. Black woman shamed live on camera by a white anchor. Okay? And they was talking about the sprinkler system. And she said, if the sprinkler system goes off, I'm out of here. And the white guy says that's right, because you don't want it to get on that weave. He said that live on camera. You don't want it to get on that weave. Here's my thing. How did he get comfortable saying that? We can say black men. And yeah, they went online. And here's what I want to say. As I was listening to the video, and I was listening to the video to see how much brown men would be held accountable for going online saying that over and over and over again about brown women wearing weaves. When are they going to be held accountable for starting that, for making that a trend to say that about brown women? But this is not about, because if brown women want to protect themselves, they can protect themselves. And here's another thing, what I got to say. When brown women hear what this white anchor did to this brown woman on camera, brown women will go in for the kill on that white man. A brown woman would take a white man down. Trust and believe. A brown woman will take a white man down. She will. It was this movie about how much is the brown male going to be accountable. And this is why I feel like the brown women will continue to have problems. I don't feel like, first of all, they need to hold themselves accountable. Number one, you always got to look at yourself. But at the same time, everything that happens, it's not your fault. Somebody else is doing things too, and they have to be accountable. Always look at yourself first, though, because you always got to look at yourself first. But at the same time, other people do shit. Other people really do shit. And when are brown women, and I'm talking about brown women en masse, going to hold this brown man accountable just like they about to eat this white man up, because they going to eat his ass up? They're going to eat him up. Brown women got a lot of power. That's why I don't really feel bad about what happens. Brown women got some freaking power. Do you understand me? That she might have more power than the white woman. I get the brown woman is older, more ancient. I get that she's like, I get that, the mitochondrial DNA and all that. I'm not talking about that though. I'm talking about the brown woman with the whatever status she is, if she's supposed to be at the bottom, whatever she is. I'm talking about where she is right now. I'm not talking about all the DNA and all that stuff. I'm talking about the brown woman where she is right now as far as status is concerned. I really feel like they get tired of brown men, get tired of white men, get tired of everybody, and they want to take their power back. They will be more powerful than the white woman, because the white woman, to me, is more powerful than the white man. Okay? But, yeah, so I was listening to say, when am I going to hear the brown male will be accountable for doing this for years? Okay, yeah, because brown women are going to, he did this on camera. And yeah, this is on a professional channel, live on camera. But still, had a brown male did that live on camera to a brown woman, he still would not get the heat that this white man is going to get. And let me tell you something, I ain't giving this white man no pass. I want to make that clear. This white man is not getting a pass from me. My point is, when am I going to see the way these white men are torn to shreds by brown women? When are we going to see that happen to this brown male for actually putting that out there? They started that trend of getting on brown women for wearing, and then she said it wasn't even a weave. And it very well could be her hair, but people don't believe brown women have hair these days. People cannot believe that brown women have hair anymore. She said that's not a weave, and she could be right. She might not be lying. Maybe it's her hair. But it's been put out there that any type of hair that's on her head that look halfway decent got to be a weave. And it might not have been a doggone weave. It might not have been a doggone weave. Okay? But that has been a trend that's been started. And who was it started by? And why are brown women shamed for wearing weaves? Why aren't transgender shamed for wearing weaves? Why aren't transgender males shamed, or just whatever? Just men who want to cross dress. I don't really care. My point is, why aren't they shamed for wearing weaves? Why does it have to be the brown women? White women wear weaves too. Those white women that have their hair like that on camera, they wear pieces and stuff. They wear pieces. Okay? And have their hair, but see, the trend was started to get on brown women. And who started that? The same way who started that disrespect in music, but at the same time, who went along with it too? Who never checks the brown male? Who never checks the brown male? I feel like this is why brown women die by the doggone numbers. Who never checks the brown male? Who? It ain't just white woman. This white woman will call the police on this man in a second. The same lady channel that I just mentioned, I saw a video yesterday about this brown male. I think he's now 23. But it was some incident between him and a white girl. He was 20 and I guess she was 17, and they went to some kind of sports bar or whatever. They didn't check her ID, but they checked his ID. I don't know if you got to be 18. I think he was 20 at the time, so I guess you got to be 18 to get in. I don't know. And something happened, they were kissing and all that stuff. According to him, it was never sex, but guess what? She accused him of rape. I don't know why she accused him of rape. Maybe her father found out that she was dealing with him, and instead of her telling the truth that she actually liked him, she says, "Daddy, it was raped. He raped me. I didn't do it." Because a lot of those girls don't want to admit to their fathers they were actually attracted to him. And say, "Daddy, it was rape." But how long has that story been going around? Okay. So, my point is that the white woman ain't cutting him no slack, and she never has cut him any slack. Okay? So who's always never holding brown men accountable? And that would be the brown woman. That would be the brown woman. It's always an excuse for what he does. And I feel like, honestly, he's the brown male, a lot of them, not all of them. I know some of them are protected. I see that some of them are well protected. But for the most part, I feel like the brown male has lost his spiritual protection. I feel like he lost his spiritual protection. And I want to say this before I go. How brown women, when they get together, they will take down the white man before they take down the brown male. They don't want to hold the brown male accountable for anything. And I'm talking about en masse. I'm not talking about just a few brown women. A few brown women will, but en masse, brown women don't. And en masse, brown women will go after that one or two brown women that try to hold brown men accountable. They will actually go and attack the couple of brown women who are trying to hold brown men accountable. So it just can't happen. That's why you got to say no to the brown community. You can't really be concerned about the children. Until that type of dynamic change, you really can't do much for children. You can only do what you can do. You can do what you can and don't worry about the rest. It was this movie that came out about this guy who was, I guess it was a white guy, a radio station. and he was giving out love advice to a lot of brown women. And he was acting like some kind of hood rat type of, not hood rat, but he was acting like, child, let me tell you, child, girl, that popular attitude that people like to mimic, that popular attitude of brown women that people love to mimic. Okay, that's a stereotype because let me tell you, I've done some stuff plays and little stuff before, and I don't like that stereotype they want to give to me. I said I'm not going to do as well. I mean, when you're acting, you got to do it because I play different parts that's not about me anyway. But still, I don't really care for that stereotype to be constantly given to me because trust and believe somebody else is really like that's going to do a lot better because it's a personality acting for some of them. Like Tasha Smith, a lot of what she does is a lot of personality acting is what she is. It's kind of what she is, especially in a lot of those Tyler Perry movies. It's her personality. So it's not hard for her to do. Me, I have to try. That's not my personality. They think every brown woman got to have that freaking personality because that's what media has shown. Media has not shown. Actually, that's what people choose to believe because I see plenty of brown women in a different light, even on media. I see plenty of brown women in a different light. That's what they choose. That's what people choose to believe. That's their fault. But anyway, brown women didn't like that. Brown women didn't like this movie with this white man trying to mimic a certain type of brown women when he was giving love advice. And brown women got together, and I guess the movie was getting accepted into some kind of awards. I don't know what kind of thing is for independent movies or something. And the movie got accepted into some kind of nomination or whatever, and brown women got together and shut it down. Brown women got together and shut that movie down and stopped it from getting into some kind of independent movie awards or something. They got together and shut it down. Had it been a brown male that disrespect, probably did. If that was a brown male who would probably disrespect brown women even more, they would not have done nothing about that. But because it was a white male, they got together and shut it down. This is how I'm saying how powerful brown women really are. This is why I don't feel sorry. I don't care if she's a hood rat. Let me tell you something about these hood rats. When I go to the hood, they are the smartest. They literally are the most intelligent that I have seen. So when we're talking about these hood women, they are the most, they are very smart. They are smart. Even men too. The men in the hood, they smart too. They know a lot of shit. They smart. But these women, you have a real conversation with them. You get past the doggone lingo, I guess the ghetto lingo that they have. You get past that. They smart as hell. They're smart. They're very intelligent women. Okay? They know how to shut shit down. Even the ones who are supposed to be educated, we see they're smart. And they actually have their hands, they have a lot of access to those resources a lot quicker. Okay, like a C. Dolores Tucker. They have access to certain resources a lot quicker, okay? But either way, even those brown women in the hood, they smart. They smart as hell. Very smart. Okay? A lot of things they choose the way they live. Some of them, a lot of them, it's just kind of by choice. It's kind of what they're used to. It's kind of what they think how they're supposed to be. It could be laziness, but a lot of times it's that's the culture. And they feel like that's how it's supposed to be. But they're smart enough to, if they want to be a billionaire, they could be a billionaire. They're that freaking smart. And so anyway, that's it. That's all I got to say about how I want to hear where the brown male and I don't really care. My point is the brown women holding the brown male accountable for even starting that trend. I don't really care about what the brown male says or all that mess right there. I'm just trying to see where this brown male is going to be held accountable for even starting that mess. Nobody was starting that mess with the brown women until that brown male went online and said that. Okay, and that's just the doggone truth. There's no need on holding back on saying that. That's the freaking truth. Okay? But anyway, that's it, and I'll talk later.